This is a clip from the Talking City podcast. The full episode is available now on YouTube or to listen to wherever you get your podcasts.
I feel like, not to get all deep in that, but the world seems to be going absolutely mental, where like people are just believing the most wackiest of stuff that would usually be saved for the dark corners of the internet. And this is all leading to the point of when home fans in mass volume and everyone singing it's corrupt because they didn't get a free kick, which then leads to like what's happened in the Liverpool game this week and how it leads to some people kind of throwing stuff in conspiracy stuff in City's way as a result. Everyone's seeing like demons in the closet that just aren't there, and I always try and live by the modem of never conspire, never credit kind of what's it called I've got the good word to make it sound nice.
You've done all this good setup and you've lost it.
But never credit badness instead of when you can credit when you can credit incompetence or stupidity or forgetfulness or dumbness.
Yeah.
Never malice. That was the word.
Malice.
Never credit. Never think someone's doing something, or most of the time anyway. Don't think someone's doing something for a malicious reason when it's usually just incompetence or forgetfulness or stupidity. I try and live by that, but I can. My girlfriend certainly tests me when she when she doesn't do her share of the parts. I really puts it to the test, and all this with Wolves, saying it's a conspiracy theory. I'm like, and everything else. I'm like, lads, it wasn't. They didn't think it was a free kick. City could have had a sending off.
Yeah.
You benefited the most, and all that, of course, leads to the absolute mess that was the match I was listening to on the radio on the way home, which was very funny indeed.
So it was a farce, wasn't it, Liverpool? Basically, Liverpool scored a goal that was onside. The on-field officials gave it as offside. It went to VAR to check it, who thought that the goal had been given. So they said, they saw it was onside and said, check complete. And the on-field officials took that to mean that it was offside, restarted play with a free kick. Nobody from the VAR team said, no, we meant it's a goal, it's a goal, give a goal.
And then apparently if a free kick's been played, you can't go back. It's the weirdest bit for me.
Yeah.
Why is that's so arbitrary?
Yeah.
We've seen games where a penalty will happen at one end, the team it's against will
game will go
score.
on for 3 minutes. Yeah.
We'll go and score, then it'll get called back to the penalty. Their goal will get chalked off, and then the other team will get a penalty and they'll score that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure in Italy or something a couple of years ago that happened like the 90th minute.
Yeah.
Which, how VAR didn't get down to the ground then, I'll never know.
So it
doesn't make sense to me.
It's terrible human error in that instance, isn't it? And like what the referees should do is come out and say, we will no longer say check complete, or we will say the goal should stand or the goal shouldn't stand, or it's offside, it's onside.
I want to hear how they speak, not just necessarily for this decision, because I mean, it would be very funny to hear what was actually being said in the panic in that room. But what I want to know is, like, do they not just speak like normal people? Do they have to speak in this code?
Yeah. It's like the eagle has left the nest. Go home.
Do they not just say, who were ref? In finger. It weren't Parson because he was at City. He's usually the one around it. But they never go, Craig, I'm sorry, lad, we've had a little bit of a mix up there. That's a goal, that, mate.
Yeah.
Can they not just say that instead of abort?
I know.
I'd love to know the panic that was. Rising in that room at the time. But it's just.
So it's terrible.
It's a really bad thing, isn't it?
And Liverpool have come out with a statement,
which is worrying, I think,
that sort of doesn't accept the apology, basically, and
it's quite ominously worded.
Yeah, it says they will explore other sort of means, which no one knows quite.
Even if it's not by words,
it says it undermines the sporting integrity, which it does.
Team who wanted to go to Super League, like it's all about what. I know that was probably a bit what about it, but I think that threat of potentially it being a legal matter, which could happen at some point. I'm not saying this matter exactly, but the way this is going and the amount of money at stake, it's not far away, and that's kind of really worrying.
Yeah, it's heavy language for a heavyweight club to be thrown around.
Yeah,
and a subset of sort of the refereeing decisions is that the referee, whose name we should know for this very purpose.
I know who the VAR one was.
The VAR one, Darren England as well. They were refereeing in the UAE on Thursday.
Yeah. Were they reffing or VAR in?
I think it was the same combination. So
right.
all
the whole team.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a fair question to say, you know, who signed this off from Howard Webb or whoever the referees, and you know, can a referee ref on Thursday and Saturday? Like, are you fatigued? Is that? I think,
presume they do. Well, yeah, players wouldn't play on a Thursday. They'd play on Sunday if they played on a Thursday night.
Yeah. They'd have more of a turnaround. So is it fair to expect a ref to be able to turn in 2 good performances in three days? Where it has gone into full-on conspiracy mode is people suggesting that because those 2 refs have been in the UAE, maybe because Manchester City's owners are, you know, prominent figures in the UAE, that perhaps this is all one big ruse for Man City, who are under Premier League investigation for potentially breaking a number of very serious rules. Is this another way where Man City have benefited and their rivals have been cost, which is just like, it's insanity.
You took the word. It's absolutely insane. For one, Tottenham are higher in the table than Liverpool, and Tottenham being the beneficiary of that decision means Tottenham are now second. I don't know if Liverpool would have jumped to second if they had have.
Might on top.
Right, okay, fair enough.
So it has stopped Liverpool going top.
Fair enough then.
What is it? September,
but
October.
It's not exactly like it's not. You know, it's October.
Yeah.
Titles aren't decided in October.
Yeah.
It's benefited Spurs more than anyone because Spurs are now second, at 1 point behind City.
Yeah.
And undefeated still, and looking really good. Could maybe, I doubt it, the squad's too thin, but could maybe be a challenger for City. Could square up for a good season.
Yeah.
With Liverpool, City, Tottenham and Arsenal all shaping up good. And Occam's razor, man. The simplest answer is the right one. Is this a global network conspiracy where referees are flying to UAE to give a decision which they had no idea could possibly have happened and would have had seconds to react to in real time? Are they conspiring to not give Liverpool a goal and send 2 of the players off again as well, I presume, in this one match in early October, which probably won't have much bearing on the season come May, as we've seen. Every point matters, but so much can change from there and then. Or have referees that, God bless them, because Christ, I wouldn't do their job, but referees who, by the large, the standards of whom have been declining massively over years, would somehow conspire to do probably one of the most monumental mistakes I've ever seen in real life. You know, what's more simpler? Underfunded referees using an appalling system made a massive mistake. I think that's the more reasonable explanation. There's a big debate about VAR, and it shouldn't even be a debate, it should be put in the bin. And you know, I think refereeing in this country needs to be completely overhauled given the extent of the mistakes and the amount of apologies Howard Webb's having to make week after week. And didn't Wolves, as we talked about, after the very first game, the very first weekend of the season, Wolves should have had a penalty in the last minute to equalise for. And you know, every team, I suppose, because it's such poor across the board, such rank incompetence all over the gaff. And again, they're not funded enough. You know, I think they should be more worried about potentially referees going off to Saudi Arabia, where they'll not have to referee at any near as higher stakes or higher intensity, and probably get a lot more money for it. And if you lose the ones that are the best in the country, what on earth happens then? Because I tell you something, it does not get better the further down you go that pyramid, that is for sure. Yeah, I think every club's going to be on the wrong end of an absolute stinker this season. City have this weekend, or not quite to that level, but they'll feel aggrieved. Everyone's going to be on the wrong end of it, and there's no, you know, the conspiracy theories in this world are public money going into private hands, not referee decisions, I'm afraid. Focus your energy somewhere else, people.
This is a clip from the Talking City podcast. The full episode is available now on YouTube or to listen to wherever you get your podcasts.